Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. Good morning, Senator. So what's your reaction to the House holdup on this? This bill doesn't actually mean anything. It's the next bill that counts.
You're right about that, Mark. And what we are doing is setting the floor for cuts. We want to cut probably more than the House does. And we're also setting a ceiling for what you can spend. And as you said, this unlocks the process to reconciliation. Reconciliation is where we're going to get to making the tax cuts permanent. So it is imperative that the House join with us, allow the Senate instructions. We have to have certain instructions to pass the Senate. They need to accept those instructions that we have to have so we can all move forward writing our reconciliation bill that will embody cuts, yes. It also will embody a permanence on the 2017 Tax Cut and Jobs Act and allow us to pass President Donald Trump's agenda, securing our southern and northern borders, building our military, addressing crime in our streets, and restoring our standing in the world.
And Senator, we know it's all about the cuts, and we know that at least a dozen conservatives in the House, they're firmly against it still, basically going back to those spending cuts. And Missouri Congressman Eric Burlison said that he and others need guarantees that there will be bigger cuts in the final bill. So do you think the Senate and the House can come to an agreement eventually?
My hope is that the House will move forward and pass this so we can come to agreement on the reconciliation bill. And as Mark said, this unlocks the process. Let's unlock the process so that the cutting can begin. And let's look at our rescission bills where we can compile all of these DOGE cuts and actually codify those and run those rescission bills as we are at the same time working on our reconciliation bill. This process is what will get us down to a pre-COVID spending level, which is what we would like to do, be closer to that $6.5 trillion budget rather than the House passed $7.1 trillion budget. We would like next year to reach President Donald Trump's goal of a balanced budget, which means we need to cut our way and save the taxpayer money down to a $5.5 trillion budget.
You know, Senator, I know many in Congress hope to get out of town today for a two-week Easter recess, and I'm sure they do not want to go home to their districts and not have something done. But in order to do this, the spending cuts, many on the left are fear-mongering, saying the only way this is going to get done are with cuts to Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid in these budget plans. Take a listen.
So Republicans want to pay for these tax cuts by slashing programs like Medicaid and nutrition assistance.
The billionaires who want tax cuts don't understand how too many people are living in this country. I will do everything I can to protect Social Security.
The Republican budget is all about giving trillions of dollars in tax cuts to the top 1% of Americans, billionaires and big corporations. And how do they pay for it? In part by stripping away health care from millions of Americans.
This is the same script they've been running for the last 40 plus years. Not only is it not true, but you're actually working on legislation that would boost retirees, eliminating taxes on benefits for most of them. What is your message to Americans who are getting all this talking points from the Democrats?
Do not believe what the Democrats in Washington, D.C. and the mainstream media is telling you. Republicans are the ones working to strengthen Social Security by rooting out the waste, fraud, and abuse, by making certain that people who are not allowed to get Social Security numbers do not have them, that they're not getting those Medicare and Social Security benefits. So rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse, strengthening Social Security is the goal of Republicans. And my Retirees First Act would remove that income tax on Social Security. This is something President Trump has discussed and talked about and is one of his goals. I'm thrilled to see that he is doing that.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.